Right, so I'm dropping down now after this sheep's trail. I followed along 3/4 of the way up the hill, and I'm dropping down to the wire fence. Now I'm going to go around the corner and see where people scramble past the wire fence to get a little bit further. But it looks like you've got to climb over a bloody barbed wire fence or something, so I mightn't be able to make it with a dog. But there's some beautiful waterfalls higher up there, look. So I'll just come down to explore. I knew it was too good to be true, like you've got to start scrambling and climbing over bloody barbed wire fences and stuff. But you can see where people have pushed this barbed wire fence out the road and just stepped over this wire fence, keeping hold of the poles as they go, and just got down on the grassed area there and went along past the waterfalls. It looks like it's like a little bit like going up the hen hole in the College Valley, where you've got to keep crossing the river to get a little bit further, then cross again to get a little bit further, and so on, all the way up. But this is definitely where people have been getting over the wire fence. They've been standing on the fence and putting their leg over, holding onto the wooden post here, whilst keeping the barbed wire fence out the road. But I mean, I've got the dog, so I'm not going to get him to jump over there in case he catches his undercarriage on the wire fence here. So I'm just going to double back on myself and go back up the hill there towards CRACKPOT Hall Mining Museum, and then I'm going to go along the farmer's track right across the top, and then scramble out the valley at the top end there, where it bends out the right and goes over towards SWINNERGILL. Right, so that's made me mind up. If I was by myself without the dog, I would have just climbed over the fence here and kept a hold of the pole and not worry about him jumping over. But he's shivering now because we're standing still and he's been in the water as usual. So I'll have to make a decision soon. But I'm just taking in this valley here at the beginning. It's nice where these waterfalls are coming down, look. And this is just the start of SWINNERGILL. So I'll bring you back. Right, so I've come back along that little sheep's trail because I don't want to risk the dog hurting himself jumping over that barbed wire fence. So I've come back to the track I came along, and I'm back onto the stony farmer's road track leading up to the big gate at the top. And then I'll look for that little scramble up track that leads you up to CRACKPOT Hall. But if you go a little bit further, there's a proper road track like this to take you up there anyway. So I'll have a look to see what the scramble path's like. If it's too steep or full of loose stones or something, I'll just go a little bit further up the road and go up the proper farmer's track. But I'm just going up this wooden gate now, and then there's a scramble track just past the trees, I think. There's some sort of path going up around the top here and all, but that must be just coming back where I've just come from. Going around there, look. That's just going to join that track again where I've just come off. Right, so through this gate, onwards and upwards. There's another one down there for a forestry walk, I suppose, through the trees there. That's looking back down to a gate right at the bottom, right next to the river swale. This is where the water comes down through a big pipe. Put this on video last time and all. But like I say, it was pitch dark, you could hardly see this. But you can see it going all the way down there, underneath those trees, and it goes down and join the main river at the bottom. But you get some bird's eye views back down the valley from up here as well. There's a couple of waters there, just gone across the bridge, going around the S-bend now. With a big green handbag on the back. So obviously they've been camping overnight. Got their tents with them on the back. Right, so through this gate we'll go, and eventually I want to be up there, back of these trees, so I've got to go a little bit further on. I'll bring you back when I'm further up the track. I've just come through another small spring-loaded gate, and I found this scramble path where people scramble up the side instead of going further along and going up the road. the farmer's track that leads up to the ruins. People just scramble up beside the fence there, I think. The dog's found a dead tree to rip to bits. Get on, get! You just find bits of bark, what's left on it, and just rip it off. If you can't find any, what he does is he lifts it and turns it over so you can get the bits of bark that's left. Right, so instead of scrambling up there, which will leave me knackered, I'm just going to go further up and find the farmer's track that takes you up and round past the ruins. Come here, son, come here. Actually, they might scramble up there. I think that's where they scramble up there. But once again, I'll be knackered if I go up there step after step after step. So I'm just going to keep going along the road until I find the farmer's track that goes off to the right and backs up on itself. Because the sun's getting up now, it's getting warm, I'm sweating. So I don't want to overexert myself. It's not far up the road anyway until you get to the farmer's track that goes back on itself. Just further around this corner here. So I'll bring you back. Right, so I'm high enough on this stone track now where the pathway leads up and off to the right, going back on itself, and this is the track that takes you up to Crackpot Mining Ruins. Crackpot Hall, we call it. So up we go. And if I continue past it on this farmer's track type thing, that's going to take us right up SWINNERGILL Valley. So I'll be able to look back down into the waterfall area where I've just come up from. That's looking back down to River Swale down there in the valley. Beautiful from up here. So there's a stone road. I've just come up through two big wooden gates and a little turnstile gate. And there's some ruins of an old farm down there on the side of the river. I passed them on my way back from Kild, going back to Mucka on the other side of the river. Well, I've never been to these old ruins of mines before, Crackpot Hall. So I'm just going to walk through it and then eventually go up the road track there and up and round it past that barn at the top there, and then just continue round and follow the valley up SWINNERGILL, where I sort of scramble up but hit those wire fences straight away. That's the only problem I've got when I come with a dog. There's a big stone here with an engraving circle in it. I wonder what that says. Or is it that much worn away you can see anything that's in there? No, there's nothing very clear you can actually see in the circle. It's all worn away. But something was inscribed in there one time. Probably something to do with the name of the hall. Right, so I don't think there's much here in these ruins, like, but I'm here, so I'll go through it now to see I've done it. But you can see the old fireplace straight away. Old oven. Now, there's not much here to see, is there? Apart from when you're here, you've got beautiful views back down the valley, look. Right, so we'll just go a little bit further through and I'll stop recording in case I fall. I'll drop the camera. These are the old stalls where they used to keep the animals at one time, obviously. Maybe the donkeys that were used to haul the carts full of iron ore when they dug it out the mines. So always kept the animals separate from the main buildings for the smell, obviously, and the shite. And most of them are like on 2 levels, like this one is. Right, come here, son. No, I don't need to get any. Quick your paws. Come on. Right, so around the house building here. Scramble back up to the main area road. Don't pull, son, I don't want to fall over. Right, so this is the main front area. You can get a look. There's probably birds nesting in there in the roofs. But as you can see, there's not much to see. It's just ruins, bits of wall that's left, and just evidence of civilization. So there's your main entrance gate. That would have brought you in horses and carts back then. Right, so there's a road that takes you up and round to that secondary building up there, but you've got to get back down here to get on the track, look. So I'll go back down here and get on the proper road track that'll take us up there and round. And then I'll go straight past that and start heading up the SWINNERGILL valley, up to the top where it turns right at EASTGRAIN. Oh, it's all water and bog down here, look. Right, so I'll cut across here. We'll do fall now, hopefully. Right. Try and get back up onto the main track. Right, so I'll stop recording for now. Right, so there's a secondary building here as you come up the makeshift former quad bike track, which is all stones coming from the Crackpot Hall, because you can see it's all like stones mines. What's left of the slag heaps there, look. And obviously this would have been, once again, probably a place where they kept the animals. Old barn type thing here. So I think the only thing that would be in here is birds nesting now. You can see the holes in the walls where would have the rafters to have a second level. Right. That would have been dragged along by horse and cart to dig the trenches into the soil, probably. Very old. Just full of old wooden fence posts. What the farmers must use for just for storage. Right. So as you can see, not much to see up at Crackpot Hall, but it's just one of those places that's up here in the valley, so you may as well come and have a look at it while you're here. That's why I've come and checked it out. Right, so this farmer's track that I'm on now looked like on the maps like it was going to take us right along the top of the SWINNERGILL valley to meet EASTGRAIN, and then turn right and go over the bridge and head over towards Gill, and then I can double back from Gill down back to Gunnerside where I parked the car. But because I've got the height now, I'm just taking in the views all the way back down to the river swale, look. Right, Dragonlight Hill, because you've seen sheep over there in the trees. Right, I'll stop recording for now. After coming away from Crackpot Hall Mining Ruins, I've just followed the stone track up, and now it's just like turning it into like a grassy old quad bike trail. And I asked the guy that passed earlier on if he knew the area well, and he's taught us this, you can follow this right round, and it takes you right to the top where you go across the bridge at EASTGRAIN and then start heading over moorlands towards Gill, and then drop back down from Gill back to Gunnerside in the car. So you must go through this gate here, look, through the wall, then continue round. And where I was down there. above the waterfalls at SWINNERGILL at the start of it. But obviously I come across problems straight away with the wire fencings, barbed wire, and I couldn't get the dog over without hurting himself. Right, so I've got to get through this big gate now. Looks like people have been gone up there now for some reason or other. Right, so I've never been up this track before, so once again I'm learning new tracks and finding my way around. Right, so I've seen a waterfall down there and all, so that's good. Right, so I'll bring you back. I'll do a shot of that waterfall when I get down there. It's just up there, about 5,000 yards. Right, so I'm now high up above SWINNERGILL, which is just down there. I'll just go a little bit closer to the edge if he doesn't pull us over. And you can see the gill there running through the valley, going up and up and up, and eventually you go through the gorge. And there's a waterfall up there to the right, look. I can see a couple of waters that passed by me earlier on at the CRACKPOT mine. I'm just walking up the valley on the right hand side, they pass the waterfall. I'm just looking at the pathway on the opposite side and all of the gill, where you're coming up halfway along the cliffside, but it all looks like it's crumbling and falling away, so it's dangerous. Right, come on, away. I'm on a bit of a grass flat track now, but it's not too bad with stones and stuff, so I've started recording again downhill. But I've just had to come around some really precarious places where it's all stones and steps up and down slippy with bits of mud. And I'm just looking right down into the gill, and I can just see one of the parts where Gary Fisher's mate scrambled up the side of it and got back onto the sheep's trail. And you can see the sheep's trail running right across the top of the hills there, at the bottom. Once again, the sheep everywhere hiding in the bloody long fern, so I can't let him off. Right, so there's a couple of people gone up to the right past those ruins on the right there. A couple I passed earlier on at the CRACKPOT Hall ruins. You can just see them over there. One's got a red jacket on and the other one's got a blue jacket on, the woman. Right, so I'm on was right up the valley till I get to EASTGRAIN and then bears right over the bridge. So here we go. Right, so every time I got like a spot where I can look down into the gill, I'll point my camera down to show you. And that's where I was supposed to be coming along, that sheep's trail just along the top, and just follow it all the way up. And I'm just looking at the paths on the other side. There's one goes right up the top and right around those hills at the far side above the river swale there. I don't know if you can get right along. It looks like an old quad bike track, quite flat. That goes right across the top, high up, and then sort of like bends down, comes across the top of here by the looks of things. It comes down to these ruins over there. Right. So once again, this whole area is old mining areas. Especially you see all this here, and then when you go over far right hand side there and you look down at the gunner side, gill, that's all old mining buildings and where they used to work years and years ago. But I'm coming up with this waterfall down there on the right now, so when I get a little bit closer I'll stop recording and take a couple of pictures down there. So I'll bring you back. I came to a part in the tracks where the stone track goes continue down, and you take that one down. If you want to go over the bridge, then go right and go up to those ruins where those two guys have gone. And there's four waters going to the top of there, where the trail's going up through the gully in the valley, past the waterfalls. But I want to go right at the top of the valley where Gary Fisher and his friend went, right at the top, where they squeeze through the gorge and that, and then they go onto the road at the top end. And you go so far up that and then it bends around to the right and goes over toward Gunner side. So that's where I'm going. And the guy that I asked earlier on says there's a bit of a grass track, takes you around, and then it gets onto a main road higher up. So this is where I'm going. Just make my way through all these rocks. And I can see the grass track leading off around the corner there. So I'll have to do my best without falling over. But I just wanted to take that bit there in where you go around the corner over a little bridge and head over there towards those ruins where those two guys are going. And there's a nice waterfall below. I mean, if you go up that path there where all those waters are coming down, it takes you up and over the top, and then you'll be able to see Gunnerside anyway. But I want to go right to the top end and follow the road where it bends out right and goes down over there. Be a little bit easier for me and the dog, I think. So, but I'm glad I've come up this far to see these waterfalls coming down there, because that's quite nice that way. It feathers out at the bottom, goes over some more white water rapids down the bottom. So I'm just taking it all in while I'm here, take some pictures and that.